How do you maintain compassion and being loving when you see people in your life doing things that might seem to cause pain, or that might seem to be hateful, or that actions that you might completely disagree with? I think it's important that we may hate the action, but you don't stop loving the soul. What you and I are is we are souls first and foremost. And as souls, we are pure light, we are perfect, whole and complete. If you look at Pablo Escobar, if you look at the murderer, the rapist, the worst person on the planet that ever lived, they were all born with a purity. As a newborn, you look into a newborn's eyes, they were in touch with their divine essence. And so as souls, we are pure light. The challenge is we go through these experiences with dealing with parents that are crazy. We were abandoned, we were abused, we were raped, we were neglected, right? Our needs weren't met. And so we slowly start to get conditioned, where we get conditioned into being who we think we need to be in order to get love, validation, and approval. And we get conditioned into suppressing our feelings and emotions and contorting ourselves into a shape in order to not feel and protect ourselves from getting hurt. So before you know it, the pure essence and light that we are gets kind of hidden underneath the contortion of our conditioned personalities, which are often defense mechanisms that we have learned in order to function and survive. And so the pure light of our being that we all are, essentially the soul that we are, sometimes gets, I don't want to say trapped inside of the prison of our persona, the prison of our conditioning. And so when we grow up as adults and we get triggered and we feel threatened and we feel insecure, as egos, the ego's job is to protect you from getting hurt again like you were hurt when you were young. The ego's job is to reinforce your existence. So when we get into certain situations that might activate certain feelings growing up where we felt threatened, we start acting in certain ways to preserve ourselves. And sometimes the ways that we end up acting may not be very nice. We have to separate the action from the behavior and the action from the person, the behavior and the action from the soul. What you are is soul, and a person is not their behaviors. So you can hate the action but love the soul. Hate the action and discern the action from the soul. When you separate the two, it frees you up to not hate the soul, but keep loving, keep compassion. Because ultimately, underneath every behavior is a positive intention. You might say, no, Kute, that's crazy. I don't disagree with you. What about the person murdering? What about the drug dealer? What about, if you really ask that person, why did you do that thing that was hateful? Why? Well, number one, because if you drill down to the deepest intention, they will say something like, because it gave me a sense of satisfaction, because it gave me a sense of peace, because I felt seen, I felt worthy, I wanted revenge so that I could feel at peace. The deepest positive intention is positive. The way they went about it, the way it manifested is not positive, and I don't agree, and I don't condone it, and there are consequences to those actions for sure. But underneath every behavior is usually a positive intention. Not positive like we were trying to do something positive, but we were seeking to get something that would make us feel good in a certain way. So that's the first thing. Separate the behavior from the soul. Number two, if you believed what that person believed, you would likely do what they did. If you grew up with their parents and went through their trauma, grew up in the country and the religion and the education system and everything that they went through, probably you would believe what they believed. But you might say, Kute, I don't believe what they believe. Exactly, which is why you don't do what they did. When I look at somebody who killed somebody or abused somebody, it makes me think, wow, what must they have believed so strongly about themselves and life and another person, another race, to do what they did? And if they believed it so strongly, on some level, they couldn't help themselves because they believed that that belief was reality. And the more that they believe that the belief is reality, they can't even help themselves, and how limited that is. And so I learned to develop compassion for somebody that believes something so strongly that they are a slave to that conditioned belief system and identity. That doesn't mean they're right. That doesn't mean I'm going to be friends with them. That doesn't mean I'm not going to take them to court. It just means you can separate the action from the behavior. And when you're able to see the soul in someone, the true essence in someone, the spark of the divinity in someone underneath their conditioning, their personas and their behaviors, you showing up, see, you just judging someone doesn't change the situation, just reinforces the pattern and continues the endless cycle of karma and drama in the world. But if you want to be a true leader, a true change maker, a true game changer, it's the capacity to see who someone really is and act as a mirror so that you can be a pure, divine reflection. So that when they look in your eyes, they don't see your judgment, they see the essence of who they are. And that serves as a wake-up call so that they can remember when they even forgot. If you enjoyed today's message about loving and being more compassionate, make sure you share it with friends and family. Also, you can go to my website, 𝗏𝗏𝘁𝗏𝑐𝑜𝑚, and make sure you enter your name and your email to receive free updates and a free 3-part video training series on how to find your purpose. Love now.